So, look, I nearly burnt out in 2022. Working two jobs, running a business, interning at my church, and trying to maintain a social life left me exhausted. And not only was I physically fatigued, but my mental health also took a turn for the worse. I was often depressed, and unfortunately, this meant I wasn't spending much time with friends and loved ones, so emotionally, I was a wreck. Well, it turns out I'm not alone in this. Over 80% of working professionals feel overworked, depressed, and emotionally overwhelmed. So if this is you, I feel you. However, recently I've made some changes that have allowed me to not only manage my time better at my day job, but my business has 10x in sales, and I've found time to travel and hang out with loved ones. So in this video, I'll be sharing some mindset shifts that will change your perception of time management and a few tools that you can implement today to radically boost your productivity. That way you can find time outside of your 9 to 5 and live a more productive and fulfilled life. Now, most people, myself included, tend to complain about not having enough hours in the day because of their day job. And trust me, I've been there too. I used to think my days were just too short. However, reality really hit me hard when I decided to audit my time. It was both revealing and humbling to learn that a lot of my so-called busy time was actually spent watching Netflix binging Love is Blind till 2 a.m. Guilty as charged. However, that's when I decided to take control and started using Clockify to monitor my time. Now this tool keeps me accountable, and the best part is it's completely free and comes packed with a ton of features that makes it all worthwhile. Now if Clockify isn't your cup of tea, you can also use the screen time application on your iPhone or Android device to keep tabs on how much time you spend on your phone and other apps. And spoiler alert, it's probably more than you think. Now, once I had a clear picture of where my time was going, I was able to allocate it better and schedule specific slots for my daily tasks, which brings me to my next tip, time blocking. Now, I spoke more intently about time blocking in a past video on this channel, but I'll say it again for the people in the back. Time blocking is essential for productivity. Every Sunday evening, I set aside 30 minutes to review my scheduled tasks, and it's almost like a ritual now, my Sunday evening date with my schedule. And this process helps me see what I can dedicate time to and where I can make adjustments as needed. Now, I typically use Google Calendar to do this, but I've just started using a tool like Reclaim AI to automate adjustments. Yes, I'm trying to AI and automate everything. Reclaim AI is a nifty tool that understands your habits and your schedule based on AI learning, and it configures your calendar if changes are made. Now, taking a look at my calendar, I'm supposed to have a meeting with Luke from marketing, but he requested that we bump it up, so I may have to miss my lunch here, which is perfectly fine, Luke, by the way. But if I were to move this into the position of where lunch is, look at what Reclaim AI is going to do. Now, it does take some time to kind of adjust it. So, as you can see, Reclaim AI bumped up my lunch because lunch is mandatory, Luke. Now we have all our events actually allocated in the appropriate time slots. So yeah, if you want to add a bit of automation into your time blocking to be more accountable, then Reclaim AI is a great option. And all I'm saying is if you haven't already started time auditing and time blocking, you might be surprised at how much time you actually have. Okay, another shift I've made is embracing the concept of do less to achieve more, which is my third tip. And we're all guilty of stuffing our calendars with busy work, neglecting the need to allocate sufficient time to single tasks. And I'll be the first to admit, multitasking isn't my strong suit, and I function way better when I can zero in on one task at a time. That's where the Eisenhower matrix came into play. I know, right? It sounds so sophisticated. Eisenhower. It sounds like a unit of measure or something. You know, like, great Scott, that's 2 10 trillion Eisenhowers of power. Essentially, it's a matrix that helps you categorize tasks into urgent, important, and, well, non-essential. And so if something is both important and urgent, it gets done first. If it's important but not urgent, it goes in my schedule, and if it's urgent and not important, well, I delegate or outsource it. And if it's neither of those, then it's off my radar. So I'm gonna assign a task to have my video edited for Magical, write a template for a video project for a YouTube video. So with that prompt, Notion was able to give me a template here, and as you can see, it's pretty good. I could probably start using this instead of the one I currently use, But as you can see, there are a number of different elements that would apply to me. Now, if you're not in the video space and you have a different type of work project that you want to do, you can use that prompt area to type in a prompt that would apply for you. And that's where you're saving yourself a ton of time. I mean, having to go through this process every single time would be so mundane, so tedious. So you can do something like this. Now, I already have it configured. So if I'm doing a new template, I can click on new. And then if I go into that page option, I can click on YouTube video template, and it's automatically going to pull up my template that I created previously. And now you can see I have areas to put the idea, the thumbnail idea, the research, and some hooks. So that's how it applies for me, and I save a ton of time doing this rather than having to do it every single time. And so by doing this, I'm not just piling on tasks, but I'm actually accomplishing more by doing less, using the templates, using the different automation features. I'm leaving time for more social activities, and of course, those essential YouTube and Instagram scrolls. And one of my daily battles is data entry. I absolutely detest mundane tasks and transferring data back and forth. It's just tedious, and honestly, it's not the best use of my time. I'm always looking for ways to speed up the process, and fortunately, I've found the perfect automation tool in Magical. And that lets me transfer data between apps effortlessly. In my coaching business, where I teach entrepreneurs how to monetize their knowledge and sell online courses, I typically schedule numerous virtual meetings a week with my clients. And scheduling individual meetings in Calendly can be a chore, but it's much easier if the contacts already exist on the platform. So let's work on moving contacts from my CRM into Calendly. Now that I'm in my CRM bento, you can see I have all my contacts from my program listed here. Now I only need to add a few members of my program into Calendly so that I can schedule different virtual meetings with them or coaching calls on a one-on-one basis. So what I'm going to do is click into one of my contacts. I'm going to click on the Magical toggle here, and I'm also going to ensure that Magical has identified which bits of data I need labeled to transfer over into Calendly. So what I can do is click on her name right here and ensure that it's listing her full name here. So I'm going to save that, and I'm also going to add her email address. So now I have her email and her name already populated. It's going to do that for any time I open up Bento and I'm in a contact area. Now I've already gone ahead and created a automation with Magical to send the information over to Calendly automatically. So let's take a look and see how that operates. Okay, great. So you can see that Magical took the information and populated it into Calendly. So now I can save her contact, and now I'm able to easily create different meetings within Calendly using the existing information. So that was an easy way to do data transfer. And this was the bane of my existence, having to copy and paste over. But now that I use Magical to automate the transfer, it's kind of fun getting these tasks done quite quickly. Another time burner is managing emails. Follow-ups, updates, scheduling meetings, it's never ending. And Magical is also perfect for automating my email workflow, and ooh, you are going to wish you knew about this one earlier. Okay, so most of my emails that I receive can be addressed with a simple response. With the AI reply feature, I can instantly craft the email by clicking on the yes, no, or custom option. Now here, Luke is asking me if I'm able to attend a meeting on Tuesday, to which I know that I am, so I'm going to click on the yes option. And as you can see, in real time, Magical was able to produce this message in an email so I can send to Luke and attend the meeting. If you need to specify a bit more details in your response, you can use the custom feature. So I have it typed out already, and I'm responding with yes and letting it know that I'll be running late, but that they can start without me. So I'm going to type that in. So hey, in real time it says yes, I'll be running 15 minutes late, but you can start without me. So pretty simple, and just a different way to word the response. So this is pretty much like you have ChatGPT built into your email with contextual replies tailored to the conversation. There's a quote from Abraham Lincoln: "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." When I started editing videos, it took me 3 days per video. So it was quite often that I would have to dedicate a ton of time to just editing the video. And at times I would even miss deadlines, which obviously meant that another video would be put off and my list of tasks would just pile up. And I'm guessing that you can see what contributed to majority of my burnouts. So I decided to take a few courses to learn editing shortcuts for Final Cut Pro and binge watch a ton of YouTube University, of course. And it wasn't long before I got more familiar with shortcuts and editing hacks. And well, now I am a pro and I can knock out a simple edit in hours and not days. And yes, this meant I had to set aside some time and money to investing in improving, but honestly, investing in yourself is one of the best ways to ensure you're efficient on the job. And so the idea here is simple. I resorted to investing time in improving my abilities to get the job done more efficiently. And this applies to every part of my life. So I take time to jot down the skills I need to improve and develop them. So if you think about it, now your boss is happy and you have new skills to leverage. It's pretty much a win-win. You know, one of my biggest challenges, and maybe you can relate, is procrastination. I've gone down the rabbit hole looking into why we procrastinate, and while there are many psychological reasons, one underestimated factor is friction, specifically environmental and organizational friction. You see, we often take our surroundings for granted, not realizing how much they impact our productivity. And so when my space is cluttered, it's a reflection of my mind. My newfound philosophy and my next tip, though it doesn't involve any fancy tool or strategy, is anything that disrupts progressive action is friction and needs to be addressed or simply cut out. For me, it's a messy desk surface, a cluttered email inbox, and a ton of unnecessary open tabs. So if you struggle with procrastination or anxious thoughts as well, like I do, it's worth considering this shift. So maybe you're struggling to find time outside your 9 to 5 like I was. Well, hopefully what I've shared can help you be more productive, get more stuff done, and do the things you love. For me, streamlining my data entry tasks with Magical was the biggest game changer. And if you'd like to see how you can apply Magical in other scenarios to automate other data entry tasks, then check out this next video right here on the screen.